70% of cardiac arrest events occur outside of hospitals and homes, and 90% of those cardiac arrest events result in death. So with hands-only CPR and regular CPR, if done immediately, it can double or even triple a person's chance of survival. Hi, my name is Elizabeth Lewis, and I'm the Socials Director of the American Heart Association here in Toledo. American Heart Association, we work throughout Toledo and throughout Northwest Ohio on many initiatives, and hands-only CPR is just one of those. So we are very thankful to Buckeye Broadband for sponsoring these kits and recognizing the need in the community, and for choosing the Sofia Quintero Center as a place to distribute these kits, because they are bilingual. They are a very important tool that can help educate all populations, older, younger.
We are the Sofia Quintero Art and Cultural Center. We have a program entitled Senate A, which is a culinary education program that's funded by United Way. Senate A will be partnering with the American Heart Association on receiving these kits that we'll be able to distribute out to the community, just to offer more resources to residents.
With hands-only CPR, we are trying to get 100 to 120 compressions per minute. This will keep the blood flowing throughout the body until help arrives, and help can take up to 10 minutes or even longer in some more rural areas to arrive. So it's really important to press in the middle of the chest and press hard and fast. The two main steps to remember is, number one, call 911 immediately, and number two, press hard and fast in the center of the chest. So you'll want to check and see if the person is breathing. If you find someone unconscious, you want to say, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello. If they are unresponsive, you want to, again, call 911 and then begin chest compressions immediately. We're aiming for 100 to 120 compressions per minute. So like this, and go. 1.
I think it's definitely a good mentality that organizations and businesses are just shifting, that when they create community resources, they're understanding that it needs to be in multiple languages. Obviously, our primary language is Spanish, but obviously there's tons of other organizations from other cultures that would use other languages. So I always try to remember, if English isn't your first language, trying to do a translation of that, can definitely take some time. But when you're in a situation where there's life-saving measurements, time is of the essence, that could really, really alter the effect of you trying to help another individual. So having that primarily in Spanish really kind of helps with that person getting over that obstacle, and just really making sure that they're comfortable using it, that they understand correctly how to use the materials, and just that they're confident, that they can use those outside of our facility, or at their own home, or wherever they may be.
With every minute that passes without being treated with CPR when needed, your chance of survival goes down by 10%.
47-year-old Lynn Davis, director of taxes at HCR, was going through the lunch line when she suddenly dropped to the ground unconscious. Dan Brevard, a co-worker who had never met Lynn, immediately started CPR. Lynn went back to work and resumed her normal activities about 2 months later. She doesn't remember the collapse nor being in the hospital, but amazingly, she has no brain deficits from her heart incident. And by all accounts, that's due to Dan Brevard, the man who didn't hesitate to perform CPR when Lynn's life depended on it.
Another tip that we share, some people say, what is 100 to 120 compressions per minute? What does that feel like? Many people are familiar with the episode of The Office where they joke about doing CPR to the song Stayin' Alive. And while that is kind of funny and ironic, it is very true. So that is the beat. So, stayin' alive, stayin' alive. And so I'll demonstrate that. Ready? Staying alive, staying alive. And we're saving lives here, so it's really important to continue those compressions, 100 to 120 per minute.
Really important for me. This is one of the things I think people always think about, a skill they always like in the back of my head. I really need to know how to do that. I feel like it's one of those things that through life, you never really maybe take the time to figure out or take a class. So for me, I'm curious just because I kind of stopped after they contacted me and said, if I had this kit, would I really know what to do? Especially when you got probably seconds to minutes of, your knowledge could really save somebody's life because you're not reading through a booklet or something like that. So personally, with kids, with also just being in the community member, we have kids and adults constantly in and out. So it's just kind of that extra confidence that, we would be able to help somebody if they needed it.